Glenn Beck, who is still making content, I guess, has a problem with Trump's Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. The problem he has is that she said the presence of Alex Preddy's gun was part of the problem and part of why he got what he deserved. Glenn Beck goes, that's not, no. And this is one of many examples of the right turning on this concept that merely having the gun meant Alex Preddy deserved some of what he got.
This is compelling video because what this BBC reporter is saying is true. It's absolutely true. He is getting in between him, the police, and somebody else the police are shoving. He is only holding a phone. He is down on the ground. He is resisting arrest, but his hands are down on the ground. His head is down on the ground. Then another agent reaches over on top of the other agents who are closest to him on the ground, reaches into his back where he sees an exposed gun, pulls the gun out, and then walks away with the gun. So he's no longer armed unless he has two guns, and they don't claim that he had two guns, only one. And pulls it out and walks away. Right after that, somebody yells, gun, 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 gun. That's when the police officer fires at him. Now, the other police officer did not know that somebody reached in and took his gun. It might have been somebody who was saying gun, might have been saying it because they saw the other guy, because he's not marked as a federal agent. The other guy pulled the gun out and walking there with a gun. So somebody might have seen him with a gun and said, gun, gun, gun. All the cops think that it's Preddy, and they shoot him. Okay. This is not something that you deal with as, an 8-year-old. This is a conversation for adults to have. And I'm not hearing the adults. First of all, what Noam said is not true. He didn't approach. If you want to say technically he approached carrying a 9mm, he did, but it was holstered and in his back. And you have a right to carry a gun at a protest. I don't think that makes you smart, but it is perfectly legal and constitutionally protected. So I'm sorry, just because you have a gun in your back, if you reach for the gun, if you pull for the gun, then you could probably be expected to be shot if you are pushing the police around.
All right, you get the point. Glenn Beck is not buying this story. He says this is not how gun rights work. This is not how the Second Amendment works. This is not how the Constitution works. He is willing to say the narrative from the Trump administration is no good. Reminder from yesterday. Here is Sean Spicer, Trump's former press secretary, communications director. He says being at extra risk of being attacked because you show up with a gun is not what we have stood for decades. We can't be saying that.
Real bad when you lose the NRA and the reddest state in the country on this.
Yeah, look, I'm a concealed carry permit kind of guy. I'm a huge defender of the Second Amendment. We've been talking about the ability for Americans to protect themselves for decades on the right. So to say that if you show up somewhere with an armed, that you're somehow vulnerable to getting attacked or approached is absolutely antithetical to everything that conservatives have stood for decades.
It is absolutely antithetical to everything that conservatives have stood for decades. I don't have to agree with the sentiment to recognize that he's correct, that it is the opposite of what they've been standing for and arguing for decades. That's true. That is absolutely and completely true. And Donald Trump is increasingly trying to figure out, how can I justify any of this when I have to deal with and contend with the fact that the behavior that Alex Preddy was participating in is what I have been advocating for years. Now, of course, if you add those rights are available for my supporters, but not for my detractors, well, then maybe you would have a sort of different situation there. But they are turning on Trump over this because they recognize this is not what we have stood for a very long time. Can this tension be resolved in a way that will be satisfactory to the gun rights groups? I think the cleanest way out of this is allow what appears to be a real investigation and have the investigation say the officers acted appropriately. I don't know how you get there because the video is so damning for the officers, but I think Trump's escape hatch would be We need an investigation. That's what the NRA wants. And then have the investigation be favorable. You would have to lie and coerce people, I think, to achieve that. But Trump's really in a pickle here. And people like Sean Spicer and Glenn Beck realize this is not what we were told. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.